Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. Priscilla here with another tarot card unboxing for you guys. Today I'm unboxing the Muse Tarot. This is by Chris Ann, and I'm very excited. I've had this. I bought this with my birthday gift to myself. I bought a bunch of different tarot decks, so I've just been slowly unboxing them. So here we are on the Muse Tarot. And the back of this one says, expect magic, exploration, and inspiration. Infused with a wildly eclectic spirit, the Muse Tarot will illuminate your path toward inspiration and magic with its bright symbolism and powerful muse energy. The suits are recast as emotions for cups, inspiration for wands, voices for swords, and materials for pentacles to deliver messages from the source of creation. The detailed guidebook contains card meanings, poetry, and word prompts to offer insight into your readings while stoking the sparks of your creativity. Ignite the muse within. And you guys, I'm really excited because this is another one of those collage style tarot decks, and I am obsessed with these. And also I cannot find the carrot knife. I am bereft. I might have to order a new carrot knife, but we're gonna just open it up with my regular knife. But like I was saying, this is one of those collage style decks that I'm totally obsessed with this style, so I'm really excited for it. I also am really excited to see how different it is with the different suits, like the reworking of the suits in this. Right off the top, I love the aesthetic of this box. I like the colors. I like this black and white element added in throughout, and it says inside the box, it says, there is magic in truth, there is truth in my veins, where my blood speaks in sooth, and my mind has no reins. And that's fantastic. Also, I have been saying in sooth mostly to myself, because there's a TikToker that I love who does these, like, he's a 10 but medieval edition, and they say things like verily and in sooth, and I freaking love it. It's so hilarious. Here's the inside on the bottom of the box. We got these little fishes. Also, the cards were perfectly flush with this box, so fantastic. I love this box. No notes. Sad that there's no, like, gilding. I really want to push for all of my decks to have some kind of decorative edge. But I will edge these myself once I figure out what the vibe for this is. It's fine. I'll just go over it with a marker or something. Why am I struggling? It's a piece of paper. So, here is the back of the card. It's very simple, but, like, I think it's very effective. It's really pretty. The big, like, cottage garden roses with the other smaller roses. And there's, like this is, like, Hypericum back there. And I think this is Status. Oh, sorry, my finger is not in the frame. So I think, yeah, this is Status. Don't look at my dry nail beds. They are dry because I've washed my hands about 200 times today. I've been doing a lot of painting, and my fingers have been messy. And then there's this little, like, it's not a succulent, but I want to call it a succulent. It's just sort of a, like, floral embellishment, so that's really nice. I do really like this, like, teal green color that we're seeing a lot of. And let's see. The guidebook is also a nice little size. There's no photos, which is fine. But let's see. It does have keywords. It has a prompt, which is great. That's a great thing to, like, work off of. And then it looks like there's a little blurb about it, so you get a little bit of the card meaning and, like, some of the inspiration behind some of the stuff that you're seeing in the visual. And then there's a little bit of verse at the back of that. So that's pretty cool. And I wonder if that's on every card. Yep, keyword, prompt, meaning, a little bit of poetry. So that's fantastic. I love that. That's something I can, like, chew on. There's some meat back here to, like, work through, and it looks like a very standard, very decent guidebook. I'm, like, breaking the spine on these on purpose just to see, because there's another deck that I ordered, and in the reviews, people were talking about the book just falling apart once you opened it, and now I'm, like, a little bit fearful to see if that happens, but it did not happen, so we passed the test here. And then I'm gonna make sure I can see the back of the box so I don't confuse myself on what suits are what, but let's get into it. I think we're pretty close. Can you guys see that very well? I could get closer. Hold on. I don't know if that made impactful change, but it was a change. So, first up we have the Fool card, and I love this already. This is really great, because it's not just, like, taking a journey, it's a journey into the unknown with this, like, space background here, and that's really fantastic. I also like that, like, the idea that they climbed up here from this ladder from nowhere. I don't know, no notes. I love this. Super cool. And then here we have the Magician, who is actively, like, transforming something into something else. I don't really know what the significance of these little balls are. I'm hoping it's the elements, like fire, water, earth, and air. That would be my interpretation of it, but it is very neat. I do like the waviness of this like energetic force, as above, so below kind of vibe. And then we have the High Priestess, and she is mysterious, surrounded by runes and the moon. I really love that. And it looks like more like getting in touch with her emotions and sort of turning that into intuition, sort of relying on that, because you have this opened up third eye. You have like an energy center in the hand. That's very neat. It's very cool. And then we have the Empress, who, like, I love this. I love that it's not traditional, like, mother imagery. Not that I have anything against that, but I am not a mother, so I find that a little bit of a bridge to sort of connect to. I have a mother, so I understand, like, how it works. Clearly, we all have mothers, but you know what I mean? Like, having a different set of imagery for the Empress that isn't particularly maternal does make it a little bit easier to connect to. And I do like that she's not just like giving birth to like a child, but sort of the universe, sort of implying that, you know, you can cosmically create things even if you aren't traditionally a mother or in that role of being a mother or maternal. So that's pretty neat. I do like that a lot. That was a lot to say for one card. And then we have the Emperor, who is a lady. And I kind of like that. I love when we like colonize, like when we decolonize the Emperor card, because it does give me a lot of feelings, which I've talked about on Patreon mostly, but I think you guys know I have a reaction every time depending on how patriarchal the Emperor is. So here we are, and I love this card. I love that it's got this, like, these people in the background sort of showing like a managing of like more humane aspects, more like mundane everyday to day things. And then here we have the Hierophant, who seems to be out here on this like soul journey with this penguin. No, it's a little tiny person. Oh my gosh, hold on, focus. You see, it's a little tiny person who I thought was a penguin for a second, but I couldn't find the beak. And these like flowing lanterns, like Rapunzel lanterns, I forget what they're called, they have a proper name, but they're paper lanterns, sort of coming down to the ground. And the Hierophant seems like more than just a like religious figure. There seem to be more posed to be like some sort of ancient deity, and I kind of also love that vibe. There's also like another backpacker here, so like another person seeking like their religious guidance. And then we have the Lovers, and this is interesting. Look at this. Like, they're on opposite sides of this. I don't know if I'm getting the Lovers from this card. There's a lot of, like, symbolism for sure. The lotuses, doing that as above, so below thing. I think that's been a really solid theme so far. And we got, like, the body parts sort of folding into each other. But this is a very interesting card. I don't know if it's giving Lovers, but I do like it. I'm gonna have to think on it. I think I'll have to read the little blurb about it to maybe connect with it better. And then here we have the Chariot, and I love this. I hate that it's horses, but I love this. I love that like they're being sort of led from this like super cosmically connected person above them. And this is the vehicle in question. I really like that. I also like that we're getting some sort of like sacral chakra, like sort of energy center from this one, to sort of emphasize the drive that's like behind this card. And then here we have Strength, and it's just this girl like vibing on top of this lion, which is cool. I like this. I like this. I like when we're not fighting the lion all the time. Sometimes we're just like sort of being in that power instead of having to like dominate with that power. I like this vibe a lot. It's very interesting. It's very like mystical and regal, and I think if I could ride a giant lion into like spaces, I would, absolutely. And then here we have the Hermit, who's out here like in the desert, and it looks like they're already on their sort of quest, but they've sort of found a little bit of peace, a little bit of tranquility underneath the shade of this tree. I really like that. Also, I really like this wavy pattern. It's very visually appealing. And then we have the Wheel, which would be the Wheel of Fortune. I don't have a lot to say about it. I do like that the moon phases make up the body of the wheel. This girl's doing a lot of very interesting poses and heels, so like pop off, queen. I really appreciate that. And then we have Justice, and look at this. This is such a cool bit of like photo manipulation. I love that a lot. You can also see like the balancing of the scales here. It's in black and white, sort of hanging behind here. There's a lot of moon imagery in this card, like in these cards so far. And then this sort of like calla lily being folded into this, like, I don't know, like awakening of the mind and like the seeking of truth. Very neat. Very, very cool. And we have the Hanged Muse. So I like that we have changed up the wording a little bit here. I also really love her shoes. Those are really cool. And her tights. Those are fun. So you guys can see that better. She's got little cat tights on. But this is very cool. I like this. It's giving, you know, seeking the enlightenment of getting that new perspective. There's also a little portal down here, which is cool. And then we have death. And this is just badass. This is absolutely so cool. I love this. I love that there's two faces here. I love the moth. I love that motif in general in life. The big cobweb across. This sort of like soul enmeshment coming across here. That is very neat. Very trippy. And then we have temperance. With the Luna moth. The Luna moth. It sounds so weird when I say it, but it does. Words. This is very interesting. I don't know if this is giving temperance. Again, there is a sort of balancing aspect to it, but I don't know if it's giving it, but I do like the card. It is really pretty. And then we have the devil. And, this is a word I probably shouldn't say on my YouTube. Not that I think I'll get demonetized, but it's very cunty. It's just that people don't like it. But I do like it. I think this is serving everything. This is giving devil. We've got sort of that, like, hellish landscape in the background with the fire. I love this. Absolutely very cool. Ooh, and here we have the tower, and the tower is a person sort of deconstructing and breaking things apart. There's like a little falling person in the background here, which is very neat. I love the energy of this. It's very, very like outwardly energy, forceful, driven, which is very on point for the tower. And then we have this star. This is very pretty. It's giving innocence. It's giving like shining light vibes. So I do like that. I like that a lot. There's some water mixed in here with like a little bit of like a spacey, deserty landscape. So covering so many words. So covering some elemental like crossovers here because you have the air in the background. And then we have the moon. And I love this big giant pink moon. That is so like pretty. This is a really pretty card. I love that there's like a communion here among these statuesque sort of women. And we have again that balance of like light and darkness, black and white going through the card. Very cool. And then we have the sun, which is a giant solar like mandala, which is neat. And then this girl has like a lily on her head. Or some kind of like protea? It looks like a, how do you say it? Protea, you know, the spiky flower. That's what it looks like. It was giving spider lily at first, but now I'm looking at it closer and it's not a spider lily. It is very interesting, though. I don't know if this is my favorite. I wish that she was a bigger central figure among the sun, but it is giving solar, so it definitely works. And then we have awakening. And this, like, sort of opening of, like, the heart space into, like, this new world. We're up in the clouds here. I love her profile. She's really beautiful. So this is a very beautiful card. And then we have the world, cosmos, which is very interesting. It's because it's giving like a little bit of a wing motif, but it's not really wings. And I love this patterning. So that's really cool. Also, I really like this like tranquil space behind her, giving a sense of like the vastness of everything beyond just like your personal world. And now we are in inspirations, which is wands. So this is the ace of inspiration. And now that we're in the minors, I'm going to go a little bit faster so that we're not here all day. But I like this cactus vibe. That's really fun. And it's definitely getting the fire aspect across. We have the two of inspiration. And I like this and the use of white space. That is really nice. And this little tiny motif of her seeking inspiration. And we have the three of inspiration. These dominoes going through this like, these little frames, these little doorways. It's very cool. So again, that would be the three of wands. And we have the four. And I like this. I like this collective. It sort of gets across that, like, sort of party, working together vibe, but, you know, a much more, like, tranquil, meditative, witchy coven sense. I love this. And then we have the 5 of inspiration. That's an interesting bit of inspiration. And then we have the 6. And I like this. The wand element is being represented by these 6 little, like, women down here at the bottom. But I love how, like, how much movement there is in this up against this desert landscape. I grew up in the desert, so every time I see stuff like this, it, like, makes me miss home, but I don't miss being hot whatsoever, so I'm not going back. But I would like to see it. But this is really cool. I love this. And the same way the other card used, like, the white space, I love this card using the black, like, the negative space here. Very, very cool. I feel it. I feel that, like, pushing against the boundaries. And then this is a very driven card. I love this. 8 of inspiration. It's very dynamic. A lot of motion. I like this little motif on the top, too. It's got little snails up here to, like, slow it down. And then the bottom is, like, speed it up. So that's really cool. And then we have the 9 of inspiration. And these are kind of giving those, like, statues from the Never-Ending Story a little bit. Like, that's the vibe I'm picking up here. But I also love the movement in her dress. That's really pretty. These cards are really nice. Really nice. I really like them so far. And then we have the 10 of inspiration, and we have these, like, little cows carrying these jugs of water while she's also carrying a jug of water. But she just looks like the water jug carrier deity to these cows. Like, I'm really confused as to, like, the story here. But this is really cool. And I love the colors here. The play between the rusty oranges and reds and the blue is really nice. Then we have the page of inspiration, and I think I see it. I think I see the inspiration here, and it's definitely giving, like, childlike whimsy and wonder. It's also giving a little bit of delirium from the Sandman series. I like that a lot. I like this little kitty, too. Oh, there's 2. Wow. How did I miss that? I almost missed it. Then we have the Knight of Inspiration, which is this fiery horse. Just going to keep moving right along. And then we have the Queen of Inspiration, and she's everything. She's giving everything. She's giving Rita Baker with her little cheetah. I love this so much. I love the cosmic pyramids and this, like, sort of tapping into this, like, energy, like, being directly delivered to her third eye is very cool. And then we have the Muse of Inspiration, which I'm guessing is what replaces the King card, but I hate that this is sideways. I understand why. It's definitely cool. If the entire deck was this way, I'd be like, fantastic. I hate that one card is sideways. Oh my gosh. Like, the OCD in me is coming through, because as cool as this card is, and it is really, really cool, I hate this. I wish all the cards were this way now, though. Like, I would love to have a deck completely side-oriented like this, and I don't. So if you know of one that's sideways-oriented like that, definitely let me know, because that's really cool, and I would love to add that to my collection. And then we have the Ace of Emotion. It's giving Little Mermaid. Emotions is cups, of course. So definitely hitting that water vibe, like, nail on the head, definitely. We have the 2 of Emotion, so we're getting that balancing act. This little synchronized swimming, like, thing happening here. And I love that that wave motif has come back through. Ooh, this is nice. This is a great card. The 3 of Emotions, which is the 3 of Cups, which is, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but I usually look at the 3 of Cups as, like, how much will I like this deck. There's a couple of cards I look for to be like, if this card is nice, then I will love this deck. And this knocked it out of the park. I love triple goddess, like, stuff, representation, things like that. And this is perfect. I love this. I also love that they're blue and gold. Like, that's a really great color, like, play. And then we have the 4 of Emotions. And I'm getting the emotional vibe. There's a lot of depth to here. There's a lot of, like, hidden, like, background feelings in this card. I love that. You can see that she's a little bit sad, but there's, like, the scenery is so tranquil. So she's just more, like, contemplative than sad. A little, like, introspective. We have the 5 of Emotions, and we're getting ice here. This, like, Ice Queen motif. I love this outfit. There's a little, like, sailing ship back here with the water drop is really nice and dynamic. This is really beautifully designed. I really love how nice this deck is. I'm definitely going to go look up the artist, because it says, on the back of the box, it says, cover art and design by Chris Ann and Valentina Abu Saba. Hopefully I didn't butcher that completely. So I'm going to look them up and see more of their art because they're fantastic at what they do. This is really nice too. I love this little like inner child in the Six of Emotions. And then there's sort of this like onlooker aspect here too. So that's really nice. And then we have the Seven of Emotions with these like different little goldfish. They are so cute. Like let me get you guys closer so you can see this. There's this little like shark goldfish and a like a beta fish goldfish, little Caesar goldfish, ninja, and this one with like a cool gold chain. So these are really cool. I like that. That's really cute. And for such a small element, that's really nice. And then we have the Eight of Emotions, and like this is a little bit heavy. This blacked out like sun that's a lot, and I love this like long journey. You can't even see where she's come from. There's no footprints in the sand. There's just a lot going on. I like that. And then we have the Nine of Emotions with these different little like water worlds surrounding her. It looks like she's underwater, and there's this like really great motion. There's a lot of movement in these cards. I really like this. I like this a lot. Also, there's a little genie down here, a little genie lamp. And then we have the Ten of Emotions, and it's giving like massive Broadway stage production. A little ribbon dancing maybe, I don't know, but it's cool. I like it. We have the Page of Emotions, and she has this cool octopus skirt, which I now really want for myself. Like an octopus belt would be so cool. And I like that there's like this forest scene and this sun scene of these like different portals, and then these fish are just sort of swimming around observing it. That's very cool. The knight is always going to be a horse, and I hate that for myself, but we're gonna endure. Because it is a nice card. I do like the seashell in the background, so that is cool. And then we have the Queen of Emotions, and she's definitely giving with all these like anemones and sea urchins, and like her crown is not just made up of like the anemone, but also this entire ocean above her head. And the sound you hear is my cat rearranging himself on all of my paper. I just hate it so much. These cards are so nice, and this is just such a weird thing to do to me emotionally. But this is still a very nice card. I do like the Muse of Emotions. I like the little ship in the background, or in the foreground, I mean. The jellyfish is cool. I wish the whole deck was like this. One way or the other. I'm not going to get over it, but I'm not going to talk about it again. We're just going to observe it and move on. So now we have the Ace of Voices. So we have this air coming in with the flags, the banners, the motion in her hair, and the owl. So I like that a lot. I like that Voices was what they chose for swords. I think it's really appropriate, especially in a Muse sort of tarot, that your voice would be like an option that the Muses would have like impact on. Then we have the Two. And I like this like double pathway, doubled up imagery leading into one centralized like portal space. And then we have the Three, and I love these dark eyes like hanging out in the night sky. You can feel like the sword energy here, and sort of that betrayal aspect that you look for in the Three of Swords, or in this case Three of Voices. I feel that. You can see the tears coming down. This is a really nice card. And then we have the Four of Voices. And look at this like really tranquil like scenery where she's just sort of bathing in like the entire wealth of the universe. And then we have the Five of Voices. And this is giving like a very empirical, sort of judgy card, but also this very interesting sort of seeking like an olive branch, seeking peace sort of vibe, but it's a very like aggressive looking card. Like the lines are harsh, the colors are like harder than like you would expect for something in the seeking tranquility, seeking peace sort of realm. And then for the Six, we sort of have like this asking for divine intervention, asking for the help of the universe to get across this like valley, and I love that a lot. I really like the motif here. And the Seven, there's like a mirror dimension here because the foxes have different faces. Her face is relatively the same, but she looks angrier here where she looks more peaceful there. I like that. I like the flipping of the imagery here. It's really nice. And then we have the Eight. of Voices, which is the Eight of Swords. This is definitely getting that. I love that she's not only being trapped by like this sort of like mental oppressive force that's sort of coming down on her, but also being like lost sort of in the background, like trapped in her own reality. And then the Nine of Voices. I don't know if it's giving that like struggle with sleep vibe, but there is a sleeping person here. Everybody looks very tranquil in this card. She's really pretty. So I do like this card. I like the gold colors used. And then we have the Ten of Voices, which is definitely giving the attack vibes. We have another one where the reality is impacting her and the environment, but also very dreamlike in the hovering over of like the foresty mountain range. So I do like that a lot. This is a really cool card. Then I have the Page of Voices, and she looks like a fashion designer, like a little fashionista. She does look like a person who would be very, very like to the point and well-spoken about her opinions and feelings. And then we have the Knight of Voices, so we have a Pegasus here. I love this little like cloud motif with like the sun coming over the edge there. That's really nice. And then we have the Queen of Voices, and she's giving Raven Queen, and I love that too. This is so nice. Her like her shawl, her cloak or whatever is made up of a wing, which is really neat. And then we have the Muse of Voices. So we have this sort of dancing among the kite and the vapor sort of aspect, which is really nice. We have like a Seeker of Truth here at the altar of the voice, which is very cool. Oops, sorry. And the last suit we have is the Ace of Materials, or the last suit we have is Materials, which is Pentacles. We have the Ace of Materials here. Very flower child, very earthy. I like that a lot. I don't know if I think it's as dynamic as the other aces, but it's still really nice. I do like the little rocks hanging out back here. And then we have the Two of Materials. So again, we have another balancing act. I like the roses being used here instead of coins. And I just like the roses on this card entirely. They're really pretty. It looks like roses is going to be the theme. So here we go. We have the Three. And we have it starting out with like this one girl, like her body is here, and then this girl has like her head just coming out of the rose, and this girl has another head coming out of the rose. And that's a very interesting choice. I do like the braiding though, sort of going into infinity. And then we have the Four, and look at how fashiony she is. She looks like she's giving of the most pose she can possibly give. She's definitely giving. I like the little tiny camel silhouette back here too. That's really cool. And the Five of Materials. So you have this like golden-handed person who looks like they're sort of creating this as they go. Like, I don't know if you guys can see the way that it's like wrapped around their hand. It looks like they're smoothing it out and sort of creating this scene as they go, and they're sort of drawing from this well of inspiration. It's very interesting. It's very regal. I like it a lot. We have the Six of Materials. I like their little rose dresses. This is really fun. It's very joyous. I like how joyous this card is. And the Seven of Materials. I like her boots. Show you guys these boots. I like her boots a lot. I'm not sure if she's like stuffing an entire bouquet into them, but I like it. I like this little path coming out of this like dark space, but surrounded by all these florals. I love that. That's really pretty. And then we have the Eight of Materials. So you can see she has her hands in lots of different places, and the hands are all different, going from like very conservatively dressed to bare to tattooed. I love that. I love the mix of hands here. There's a lot of like imagery that's been borrowed from other cultures in this deck, which is very interesting. So I do like blending of cultures, especially like respectfully. I do like that. We have the Nine of Materials here, and she's like, it's like her dress is the background, but also becoming part of the roses. So maybe like becoming more in tune with her own environment, and not just like letting her reality shape her, but shaping her own reality, which is very neat. And the Ten of Materials, we have this sort of happy community surrounded by this very like bountiful rose tree, which is really pretty. Then we have the Page of Materials, and you see this like transference of like nature into her entire fit, basically. That's very cool. And the Knight of Materials, we have this like horse riding off into the succulent sunset. And the Queen of Materials, this is very interesting because like Pentacles is like the suit of wealth as well as the earth. And I get like the abundance aspects here. But even the choices of flowers here is very interesting to me, because you have like poppies and peonies as well as roses. And if you're familiar with flowers, that's a very interesting little bit of like flower language in this. But I also like that she's not only like the center of this like motif, as in she is the queen, so she is forefront, but she's also kind of like cheering herself along on the side. And that's also really interesting. And then last up for the Muse of materials, we have this really great like bridge scene between these two women, like sort of building this bridge into this sort of prosperous place. I love like the folded forest background. This is a really pretty card. It's really nice. So yeah, that is the entirety of the Muse Tarot. Let me know what you guys think of it below. I really like the deck. I wish it was a little bit more inclusive. Like, there were people of color in this, but I wish there were more. Especially because a lot of the motifs are borrowed from like East Asian and Asian like influences. I would like to see more of that, but I do like that there is a good range of people of color in this. But otherwise, like, I don't really have any like criticisms with this deck. I really like it. I like the motifs. I like the energy. I like the colors. I think the art is really, really nice, and I want to go look up the artist now and see if I can familiarize myself with their work a bit more. Let me know what you guys thought, though, and what your impressions were, what cards were your favorite. I would definitely love to know. I think the Three of Emotions is going to be my favorite card for this one. But I can't wait to work with this a little bit and get a little bit more familiar with it. So yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I appreciate your faces. I will catch you guys all in the next one. Until then, happy crafting, guys. Bye.